There you go.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Tallahassee's highest praise, hallelujah, 95.3, straight interview with Jacqueline Carr. Make sure you go and download and support her ministry of music, new single entitled Changing Your Story and Power of Love. Every Thursday around this time, you know, when you hear this song by Isaac Curry, oh my goodness, it's time for Marriage Takes Work, none other than Danny and Rhoda Whitfield. How are you?
Wonderful. We're doing wonderful today.
Wonderful.
Oh man. Okay, now what are we talking about today?
Well, our subject today is what love is and what love is not. Okay. Love is that word, you know, we use that in our relationships, you know, when we're courting, when we get married. I love you. But what does that really mean? We use it loosely, and sometimes not even knowing the actual definition of what love is. And so my thing is, if it's not clearly defined, then that love can be either displaced or replaced. So in our marriage, we need to clearly know what that love is. I can go back to 1984. Tina Turner said, "What love got to do with it?"
I thought love had all to do with it.
Well, if you look at Tina Turner's relationship, it was empty of emotions. It was filled with physical abuse. So after years of being in hiatus, she came out with this song. What love got to do with it? And so we need to know when we go into our marriage what love is and what it is not. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, but there are some things we need to know about love and what it is. What do you got for that girl?
Well, one thing we have to realize is that love is bigger than us.
Okay.
You can't dictate how and when love will be expressed. And it comes with no conditions or stipulations. It's just something that is given freely. Mm-hmm. We can't buy it. It can't be sold. It can't be traded. And it has no territory, no boundaries. And a lot of times when we go into relationships, sometimes people feel that the only love that you should express should be that love that is given to me. And, you know, God gave love to the whole world, which means that love is endless. And so, you know, I was thinking about that, and I started looking at the word love is and what it really means to me. And when I look at the L,
all right,
I see long suffering. That means that I'm going to have patience, and I'm going to be forgiving. If we are in a marriage and we don't know how to forgive, we already have a problem. And love is long lasting. The O says it's overflowing. It's optimistic, meaning that it has belief that your marriage can make it. And then when we look at the V, it's versatile. Mm-hmm. It doesn't stay stagnated. It's always looking for new creative ways to show and express love to that person they love. And then E is everlasting. It's evolving. It's the love that you have. The longer you are married, it gets deeper and deeper. And that's because There are things within your marriage that you're going to experience and go through together. So it's going to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's inspiring and it's irreplaceable. That means that the love that you have for your spouse, no one should be able to step into it because it's impenetrable.
Okay.
You can't get through it. It's that deep. It's that thick. It's that wide. And then S is sustainable. It can sustain through the worst of times. So that's what love is to me.
Weathering the storm.
That's right.
All right. To me, I think love is like building a house.
Mm-hmm.
That house has so many components to it, so many materials that you need in order to build that house of love.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not careful with the material that we build that house, then that house will have a crack in it. That house will have a leak in it, and therefore that love now becomes a little tainted, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I like to get the opinions of others as to what their definition of love is, and I want to challenge those who are listening now to give us a call at 850-671-1450 and tell us what love is or what love got to do with it. I got this from a couple of people that I surveyed, and I love surveys. So this is from a person who's not in a relationship, and they said love is security. Love is having a companion, a best friend, a loving partner, a sounding board, a cheerleader, and an advisor, a cuddy buddy through every area of your journey. And then this one that I love, really, I liked it a lot. And this came from a couple who's been married for 1 or 2 years. Love is being vulnerable. She said, love is like giving someone a map of all of the flaws and the imperfections and putting faith in you, knowing that you won't exploit or abuse that power because you know everything about me, which is good. And then those couples who are in a lasting relationship, Sasha says this: we are human beings and we're never going to be the same, but being patient and accepting each other's flaws is something that never stops us from growing with one another.
Wow.
Those are some real good definitions of what love is for those persons. And then we got to realize this: marriage is a gift that God has given us, and it's the pure example of His love for us.
That's right. That
we can take that love that He had for us and transform it into our love for our mate. Quite important. Quite important. So you have anything about what love is now?
Yes. I look at it like this. As I said before, love comes with no conditions.
Okay. All right.
So one thing, love cannot be imprisoned. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about when a spouse wants to feel that the person that they're married to can only love them. That's not so. If that was the case, God would have picked and chose the ones of us that He would love, and He didn't do that.
Okay.
Another thing is love does not have an on and off switch.
Okay. So I can't turn it on and turn it off.
Right. You can't tell me today you love me and tomorrow you don't. That's not love.
Can I have a day off? Well,
There's never.
Ain't no love in the house.
Does God get a day off?
No. Okay.
Okay.
You got me on that one.
And it cannot be turned off as a punishment.
Oh.
So that means, I can't, the Bible clearly tells me that I cannot withhold my body.
Hold that right there. Let's put a pin in that. I think that's a special session.
Oh, another topic.
Yeah, you said I can't withhold myself. I can tell you, not tonight.
Nope.
Oops. That's deep. Yeah, we're gonna hold that for a special session that we can, we can't withhold. Oh, that's a heavy one.
So let me tell you about my love is not words.
Okay, come on with it.
All right. The L says that love is not limited.
All right.
The O is overwhelming. I should not get overwhelmed day to day trying to love somebody. Okay? V is not violent
Right.
and is not vicious.
Mm-hmm.
My E is not envious and is not exhausting. You know, I go and work out at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I get exhausted. I shouldn't be exhausted in trying to love someone.
That's good. That's
Okay?
good.
I is not intimidating and is not immobile. Love is constantly moving. It does not sit in one spot like a couch potato. And then S is not selfish. Matter of fact, love is selfless.
Okay.
It normally thinks of others before it thinks of itself.
Okay.
N is not negative nor nitpicky. It's
Wow.
not going to focus on the faults of the spouse.
And that's probably one of the big things that couples go through in a marriage when we go to nitpick. And again, I said before, the person said that I could appreciate that each one of us come into a relationship with imperfections and flaws.
That's right.
So it's not good for you to put me on the dartboard, and every time you see an imperfection or flaw that I have, that you're always throwing that dot at me. After a period of time, I'm going to get tired of that.
Well, you know, not only that, you know, I've said this before, that, you know, there's certain things you're going to learn about your spouse prior to getting married.
Okay.
But you're not going to learn everything about them. So there are going to be some things once you all come up under the house, the same roof together, that you're going to learn. But you got to realize that your upbringing was different.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some things that are going to be revealed to you that you may or may not like. But those are things that you have to realize that person is not going to be able to have to change overnight. But that doesn't say you stop loving them.
Okay. All right.
You have to continue to love them through that.
850-671-1450. There ought to be somebody out there with their ears on who can give us their example or their perception of what love is. Now, if you don't get it today, we're going to ask you to check us out on our website, Marriage Takes Work, such that you can get an idea, we can get an idea of what that is to you, and we can bring that back on next week and have those before us to talk about your perceptions or your perspectives of what love is and what it is not.
Now let me tell you what my O is. My O is love is not oppressing. And my T, love is not tainted. And by that I mean how you love someone in a previous relationship, you shouldn't be loving me that way. Because see, I was an upgrade. You got a promotion.
Upgrade. I went up a level.
Yeah, you went up. That's why you married me. You got promoted. You got an upgrade.
So the love I had for somebody is not the same love I have for you.
No, that was tainted love.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what love is and what love is not. I challenge all of you who are listening today to get on those websites and really send us your perspectives of what love is. And so until the next time, We ask you to love hard.
And work your marriage.
That's working.
Marriage Takes Work every Thursday at 4:45. How can they get in contact with you or find you online?
Well, they can start with Facebook, Marriage Takes Work, Danny and Rhoda Whitfield. We're on YouTube under Marriage Takes Work. And our website is DannyandRhodaWhitfield.com. If they have any questions that they want to shoot to us, they can do it on any inbox.
I got a topic for y'all next week.
Come on.
Been seeing some things, sharing your what goes on in your relationship on social media.
Ooh, good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I saw something earlier that I said, whoa, you shouldn't have showed. You shouldn't have
Okay.
said that. Hey, I said,
Well, that's a heavy one.
okay.
That's like taking something to your parents.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that either.
You need to be careful.
Oh boy, Marriage Takes Work. Make sure you tune in every Thursday at 4:45. And if you have a question or a comment, you can call 850-671-1450. Thank you so much, Danny and Rhoda Whitfield.
Thank you.
Listen.